Okay, today's lesson is going to be our business simulation day. We're going to be looking at your businesses that you created in groups to determine whether or not they would effectively work in real life. Now, I'm not going to say that this is all completely realistic because a lot of the things that I made up in the simulation are a little bit fake and probably very exaggerated, but nonetheless, let's at least go through and see what we have here. The first thing you need to do in this slide right here is directly connected with this. Let me get to it. This sheet that you would have gotten in class today, which is the business simulation prep sheet. Essentially what I need you to do is come in here and fill out the different things here as it relates to your business. Now let's say you are doing, I'll just kind of circle it like so. Let's get rid of the fill. Okay, no fill. But let's say that you are you're doing a business that is a local business. You're just going to basically come in here and say, okay, I'm local, so let's circle this one right here. Then you're going to go through and say, okay, I'm a good of want, not a good of need, so I am this item right here. Now it doesn't really match up the way I'd like it to, but you get the point here. So you just basically need to go through and fill out this entire sheet. And that's what this slide of the PowerPoint is related to. So are you a local or national product? I put elasticity. In other words, is there a change in your item based upon the condition of the economy, like need or want? We'll go through that and you'll see it in the power or in the simulation itself. Are you a healthy product, green product, or not? Who's your target audience? Let's get back into the PowerPoint here. Who's your target audience? Age, gender, socioeconomic status, which would be the wealthy, middle class, lower class. Do you have anybody endorsing your product? Your workers, a little bit about that. Do you rely on great deals of power? In other words, do you have a lot of factories in which you would be consuming a whole lot of energy? That could be high, medium, or low. Do you have raw materials? So in other words, if you're producing any type of food, you're definitely going to have raw materials. Some companies, if they're like a tech related, you're not going to really have the same level of raw materials. And then your competition, what are you, quality value combo? How much direct competition do you have? Many companies, few companies, or none? What location do you have? And even that, not only just main roadside, street, not important. There's also one on the sheet which talks about, are you in a small town, are you in a suburban setting, or an urban setting? The whole point that we're trying to get at, though, and here's the essence of today's lesson, I want you to be able to explain how both external and internal factors affect business. In other words, how do things that you choose with your business affect you, and how do other things you don't choose affect you as well? Well, like one example of an external, which is something that you don't really get to choose, is the condition of the economy. If the economy starts booming, that's going to really benefit your business most likely, even if you're not really making any other changes. Whereas if it starts suffering a lot, no matter what business you're in, you're most likely going to see a decline to some extent. I shouldn't say no matter what business, because there are a lot of businesses that could withstand it, but most businesses will see a drop, and that'll be in this as well. Here's the way that this works. Each roll of the dice is a business quarter, being 1 quarter of the year. So if you come up here, Q1, that's quarter 1, Q2, quarter 2. And by the way, we're not going to use real money. We're going to start with 100% just to make it a little bit more easy and more general so that I can make this work right. After rolling the dice, you will be guided by letters and numbers that connect you to your prep sheet. So for instance, if you rolled 1-1, it will say A-B. What that's telling you is go to your prep sheet and look under header A and then indent B here. And that says you're choosing need versus the need or want. Then what will happen is it's going to give you a circumstance or a situation that occurs, and it's going to be dictated by what type of business you have potentially. So it's then going to say if you are an item of need, you get plus 5%. Since you are an item of need, you get plus 5% versus if you are a want, you would get negative 5. Therefore, what you do now is you take the 5%, you drag it up here to Q1, and that's what occurred for you in the first quarter of the year. You'll see that as we go through this, it's going to make it so that you have all these different events, and then at the end of the year, you're going to have a percentage that I want you to write down. And the way that's going to work then is up here at the top, you can see I have year 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In the simulation, you will then click on year 1, and based upon how you did, it's going to tell you what you're supposed to do next. So it's something that you'll be able to see here a little bit more clearly as you kind of play with it. So roll the dice, click on it, and follow through. Now, let's just do one for a sample, and we'll do 1-1 since it was already included. You need to first look and be ready now. You're on your sheet at AB, which is telling you that you need to be in the general information in need or want. It says flooding and unusually strong storms this season have caused many people to panic. Instead of spending as usual, their spending patterns have changed. If you are an item of need, you are at plus 5% because your product is now in greater demand because people are concerned, they're trying to get the things they need, put them in their home. Versus if you're an item of want, you're at negative 5% because people are too concerned about their safety to go and spend all kinds of other money. So essentially what you're going to do now, you can click on selection board, it'll take you back here. But what you do on your sheet, just to go back, you would say, okay, if I'm need, I'm plus 5, if I'm want, I'm negative 5. So hopefully that explains to you how to effectively navigate through this. And the one thing that should be nice is even with the author stream, the source that the site that I use to upload my PowerPoints, it still should show you, I think, which ones you've already clicked on. So enjoy. The other thing that I want to talk about too here is that you need to go onto Blended Schools when you're done. And since you already are at Blended Schools, if you're watching this video most likely, under Business Simulation Activity, go into Reflection and complete this survey for me, please. I would really appreciate it because with activities like this, it takes a whole lot of time and it's a little bit different than what's the typical teaching. So I want to make sure that it's beneficial and you enjoy it and you find it to be educational as well. So please do fill it out. Thank you.